Chosen one, this message didn't find you by accident. It's divine timing. God led you here for a reason. You've been praying for direction, for confirmation, for understanding. And this is it. What you're about to receive is not just information. It's revelation. It's a reminder that your blessings, your breakthrough, your elevation are not random. There's a generational purpose behind it all. You may have felt overlooked, delayed, or even forgotten. But that was heaven's way of hiding you for a holy assignment. You're not late. You're right on divine schedule. Every struggle, every setback, every tear was shaping the vessel required to carry this kind of inheritance. God doesn't just bless people. He prepares them for blessings with weight. And now, you're stepping into the kind of breakthrough that doesn't just change your life, but transforms the lives connected to your name. This moment is sacred because your legacy starts now. Before we dive deep, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Because this message isn't just content, it's a divine reminder of the generational assignment God placed on your life. If your spirit feels this frequency, type 77 in the comments right now. That number isn't random. It's a prophetic signal to heaven that you're in alignment, awake, and ready to walk in the wealth and purpose that's already been written into your bloodline. Not everyone will make it to the end. Only those truly chosen to break generational chains and carry generational blessings. And those who stay will unlock the deeper reason behind their breakthrough. Not just what's coming, but why it's coming. This isn't just a motivational word. It's a multi-layered revelation. Rewatch it every time your soul needs clarity. Because each time you do, God will show you something new about the legacy you're being raised to steward. Let's dive in. Chapter 1. You weren't born into wealth because you were sent to create it. Chosen one, you didn't come from abundance so you could feel lack. You came from scarcity so you could break it. You were born into patterns of survival. Not because God forgot you, but because heaven trusted you to be the first to shift the pattern. The financial struggle, the generational debt, the silent frustration of watching others settle for just enough. It's all been part of the setup for your divine assignment. You weren't placed in that family, in that neighborhood, in those conditions by mistake. You were planted there like a seed to rise and produce something different. You are the turning point, the one chosen to create what no one before you could. And because of that, your process had to be deeper. Your preparation had to be longer. You didn't just face financial lack, you faced the emotional weight of carrying everyone else's expectations. You didn't just struggle with money, you struggled with identity, wondering if you were crazy for dreaming bigger in a place where everyone else just wanted to survive. But you kept going. You kept praying. You kept seeing the vision when no one else could. Why? Because your spirit remembers what your history tried to bury. You were never meant to maintain poverty. You were meant to dismantle it. That's why you couldn't stay in certain places. That's why you lost friends along the way. That's why comfort never lasted long for you. Because purpose was always calling you forward. You are the Moses of your bloodline, the Joseph of your generation, the blueprint that will outlive your name. And yes, the road has been lonely. But even in the isolation, heaven has been teaching you how to manage increase, how to steward wealth, how to lead with integrity. Because you're not just being positioned to receive, you're being prepared to sustain. This wealth coming to you isn't just for your comfort, it's for your calling. You're being equipped to build schools, fund dreams, break cycles, and leave inheritance, not just in your bank account, but in your bloodline. Your children's children will know your name. not just because of what you left them, but because of what you broke for them. So, don't curse your process. Don't resent the struggle. Don't regret where you came from. Because heaven has been using all of it to prepare you for what eyes have not seen, ears have not heard, and minds have not imagined. You're not just the one who gets out. You're the one who pulls others up. This wealth won't stop with you. It will begin with you. Chapter 2. Your financial tests have been spiritual training. Chosen one, this was never just about money. It was about alignment. You weren't just being tested in your pockets. You were being refined in your perspective. God wasn't withholding from you. He was preparing you to hold what others mishandled. Before heaven releases abundance, it checks the heart that will carry it. Not for pride, but for purity. Not for greed, but for grace. You had to learn the difference between chasing provision and trusting the provider. You had to understand that real wealth is not only counted in currency, but in character. The truth is, your spiritual training didn't look like wealth. It looked like wilderness. It looked like dry seasons, like no after no, like doors that wouldn't open. But the entire time, God was building something deeper in you. Heaven needed to know, would you still serve when no one saw your effort? Would you still give when it felt like you had nothing left? Would you still believe when your circumstances made no sense? Would you still walk in faith when fear was all around you? Those long nights of prayer, those moments of silent tears, those days when you had to choose between giving up and going deeper. All of them were building spiritual muscle. They were proving that your foundation wasn't rooted in things. It was rooted in truth. Because if your joy depended on a paycheck, the enemy could steal it. If your peace depended on comfort, the storm could shake it. But when your joy comes from purpose and your peace flows from alignment with God, you become unshakable. And that's what this training was about. Building a version of you that can carry the weight of wealth without losing your soul in the process. Now you understand money differently. You've seen how lack sharpens vision. You've learned that when everything is stripped, only what's eternal remains. And that's where your power is. You're not just stepping into increase. You're stepping into responsibility. You're being trusted with impact, not just income. You're being assigned to bless others, not just to live comfortably. Your new level of wealth is tied to purpose, to healing, restoring, and planting seeds for the next generation. Every test shaped you, every valley taught you, and every moment you stayed faithful has created a foundation strong enough to now hold what God is about to place in your hands. You are not the same person who once prayed for breakthrough. Now, you are the person God can trust with it, not just for today, but for decades to come. This wealth isn't just about overflow. It's about outpouring. It's about building what lasts long after you're gone. Chapter 3. This next level of wealth comes with wisdom. Chosen one. This next level of wealth is not just a financial upgrade. It's a divine unlocking. It's not coming to impress people. It's coming to impact lives. God isn't just giving you resources. He's giving you responsibility. He's trusting you with more because you've shown him that you can handle what others would mishandle. You've gone through seasons where you had nothing but faith, and you held on. You didn't curse the process. You leaned into it. You didn't allow lack to turn your heart bitter. You allowed it to make your spirit stronger. That's why this increase will be sustained. It's coming with the wisdom to build, to protect, to last. This wealth won't just sit in your account. It will flow through your purpose. It will fund visions. It will support missions. It will plant seeds that grow into blessings for generations. And most importantly, it will allow you to walk fully in what you were born to do, without apology, without delay, and without dependence on anything but God. This season is not about flaunting, it's about fulfilling. You're going to receive divine instruction, where to sow, where to save, what to build, and when to move. You'll see things others miss, because your vision is now aligned with heaven's perspective. You'll no longer ask, "How much can I get?" Instead, you'll ask, "How much can I give that will last?" The wisdom being released to you is protection. It will keep you from making emotional decisions. It will teach you to invest with patience, to build with clarity, and to give with discernment. You're going to start noticing that your peace grows as your provision grows, because this time, it's not coming with pressure. It's coming with presence. God's presence, guiding every step. You'll look back and realize that the times you were denied weren't losses. They were lessons. The doors that closed taught you how to knock on the right ones. The seasons of waiting taught you how to move only when the Spirit says, "Go." You've learned what's valuable, and you've learned what's a distraction. Now you won't be moved by hype. You'll be led by heaven. You're not just entering wealth. You're entering legacy-building flow. The kind that doesn't run out, because it's not coming from you. It's flowing through you. And because your heart is ready, your mind is ready, and your spirit is aligned, heaven is ready to release what has your name on it. This is not just about what you can have, it's about what you've been called to handle. And you will handle it well, because you're not the same person who once struggled and doubted. You've been transformed through fire, shaped through silence, and refined through obedience. Now, wisdom walks with you, wealth flows to you, and the world will witness what happens when a prepared soul steps into divine overflow. Chapter 4. God is using you to rewrite the family story. Every family has a story. Some are heavy with struggle, some are filled with cycles that repeat silently through generations. Cycles of lack, pain, broken relationships, emotional instability, financial bondage, spiritual dryness. But every now and then, God raises up someone within the bloodline to change the narrative. Someone who doesn't blend in, someone who questions the silence, someone who aches for more, even when they've been told to settle. That someone is you, chosen one. You weren't sent to continue the story. You were sent to rewrite it. Your very existence is proof that heaven has stepped into your bloodline with a new blueprint. You are not just an individual on a spiritual journey. You are a divine disruption to generational dysfunction, a breaker of chains, a builder of legacy, a restorer of what was lost. You're not just breaking curses, you're planting blessings. Where there was once poverty, there will now be provision. Where there was once silence, your voice now speaks with divine clarity. Where there was once pain, your healing is creating room for joy. Where there was once fragmentation, your wholeness is becoming the glue. And it doesn't start with a spotlight. It starts with a decision, the quiet decision to forgive, to release bitterness, to start learning what love looks like, to heal trauma that others ignored, to pursue growth when it's easier to stay the same, to say, "No more. It ends with me. It changes through me." God is using your obedience as the blueprint for a new family structure. He's using your endurance to lay a spiritual foundation. He's using your pain as divine fertilizer for generational fruit. Everything you've been through wasn't just for you. It was for those who will come through you, around you, and after you. You are the bridge between what was and what will be. Your faith is creating a future where peace is normal, abundance is expected, healing is natural, and God's presence is familiar. Some in your family may never understand your journey. They may criticize your boundaries. They may mock your transformation. But don't be discouraged. They mocked the builders of the wall in Nehemiah's day too. Yet the wall was still completed. You weren't sent to be understood. You were sent to obey. You weren't chosen because you were perfect. You were chosen because you were willing. And that willingness is more powerful than you think. Because your yes to God is becoming someone else's opportunity. Your healing is someone else's inheritance. Your prayers are someone else's protection. What you are building in this season, even if unseen, will echo for generations. Your grandchildren will live in peace because you fought for it. Your descendants will walk in freedom because you broke the chains in silence. The abundance you manifest will not end with you. It will flow through you. So don't grow weary. This assignment may feel heavy, but it is holy. This role may feel lonely, but you are never alone. Heaven is backing you. Angels are supporting you. God is proud of you. Because you are not just part of the story. You are the turning point. And generations will thank God that you answered the call. Chapter 5. The blessing will come quick, but it won't be shallow. Don't be surprised when doors start opening. Don't be shocked when people start finding you, favor starts surrounding you, and opportunities begin aligning so perfectly it feels surreal. To others, it might look like things are just suddenly happening for you, but you know better. This isn't sudden. This is spiritual alignment, catching up to divine timing. Your years of quiet obedience, your silent sacrifices, your private tears, they've all been building divine momentum behind the scenes. Now what's been stored up is about to be released. But here's the part that matters, chosen one. This won't be hype. This won't be shallow. This won't be surface-level success. God isn't just blessing you for visibility. He's blessing you for legacy. He's not just opening doors for clout. He's opening them for kingdom work. The wealth that's coming isn't just financial. It's foundational. It's not here to give you a moment of comfort. It's here to change your structure, your mindset, your home, your family, your habits, your environment. All of it is about to be touched by this next wave. Because this blessing isn't random. It's reformational. You're not being elevated to look important. You're being elevated to carry importance. To be a light in spaces that have been dark. To be a solution where confusion has lived for too long. To restore what others said was beyond repair. And though it may look quick to the outside world, it's rooted in deep spiritual preparation. God doesn't give flimsy blessings to people with firm foundations. He gives substance to those who've been sifted. And chosen one, you've been sifted. You've been humbled when you could have been prideful. You stayed generous when you barely had enough. You listened to divine instruction when others chased popularity. And because you stewarded the wilderness, now you're about to be trusted with the garden. So don't question it when the overflow comes. Don't doubt it when the pace picks up. You're not being rushed, you're being rewarded. You're not being fast-tracked, you're being favored. And no, it won't fade like trends. It won't disappear like hype. It won't collapse like platforms built on ego. Because what's coming for you is being built on truth, tested through fire, and covered by grace. God doesn't just want you to rise, He wants you to remain. To not just be a spark, but to be a flame that burns consistently for His glory. To not just flash for attention, but to shine as a lighthouse for others navigating their storm. And remember, This isn't just about you. The blessing is coming through you, but it's designed to reach beyond you, to touch your bloodline, to restore your family, to empower your purpose, to ripple into the lives of those who are assigned to your light. So when the blessing comes, don't shrink. When the opportunities find you, don't apologize. When the tables turn, don't forget who turned them. Stand in it with grace, steward it with wisdom, and carry it with the awareness that this is more than reward. It's the beginning of divine responsibility. Because you weren't just blessed to enjoy it, you were blessed to extend it. And chosen one, this time, it's going to last. Chapter 6. Generational wealth isn't just financial, it's spiritual. Chosen one. The world may focus on material success, but heaven measures wealth differently. True generational wealth doesn't start in the bank, it starts in the soul. It begins with who you become when no one is watching, with the healing you choose, with the mindset you shift, with the legacy of love, truth, and wholeness you decide to pass down. You weren't chosen just to leave behind money. You were chosen to leave behind meaning. Before wealth ever touches your hands, God deposits something eternal into your heart. He teaches you patience. He teaches you spiritual authority. He teaches you how to see abundance as alignment, not just accumulation. Because when the soul is wealthy, the overflow becomes natural. The wealth you'll carry is not just provision, it's divine perspective. It's the kind of wealth that doesn't just change lifestyles, it changes bloodlines. You are rewriting what your last name stands for. Where there was fear, you're planting faith. Where there was chaos, you're establishing peace. Where there was dysfunction, you're building new patterns of love, trust, and spiritual understanding. The next generation won't have to fight the demons you had to face, because you stood up to them. You looked pain in the face and decided, this ends with me. You're not just giving your children financial freedom, you're giving them emotional clarity, spiritual identity, a deep awareness of who they are and where they come from. They won't grow up thinking struggle is normal. They'll grow up knowing that being aligned with God brings protection, abundance, and peace. That's because you made the hard decisions. You prayed when no one saw. You forgave what others would have held on to. You chose obedience when quitting felt easier. When they look back at your life, they won't just see a provider, they'll see a pioneer, someone who changed the atmosphere of the entire family, someone who spoke life into dead places, someone who dared to believe that healing and wealth could exist in the same house. You are setting a new rhythm, a divine standard, a blueprint for how a family walks in purpose, walks in prosperity, and walks with God. This is generational wealth. Not just the money, but the mindset. Not just the land, but the legacy. Not just the riches, but the roots. Deep, unshakable spiritual roots that carry into every child, every dream, every prayer that follows you. And it's all starting with you. Your obedience, your sacrifice, your awakening. So don't minimize what you're doing. Don't downplay the inner work you've been doing in silence. The breakthroughs you're experiencing are not just personal victories, they're generational shifts. You're not just changing your life, you're changing the entire spiritual direction of your family tree. And that's why heaven is proud of you, not just because of what you're about to walk into, but because of what you refuse to pass down. You chose healing, you chose truth, you chose legacy, and the wealth you're building, both spiritual and material, will echo long after you're gone. This is how generational wealth begins, with one awakened soul, and that soul is you. Chapter 7. This isn't just a blessing, it's an assignment. Chosen one. Hear this with your spirit. This isn't just a blessing, it's a sacred assignment. God doesn't just bless for comfort, He blesses for kingdom advancement. What's being placed in your hands isn't random overflow. It's a response to the purity of your heart, the endurance of your faith, and the size of your calling. You weren't just preserved, you were prepared. You weren't just protected, you were positioned. This is the season where the reason behind the resistance will finally make sense. You've been given influence, not for popularity, but for purpose. You've been given wealth, not for ego, but for execution of heaven's blueprint. You've been given access, not to blend in with the world, but to stand out as a leader, a restorer, a reformer. Chosen one, you're carrying something generational. This isn't about building a lifestyle, it's about building a lineage. Your yes is going to open doors that have been closed for decades. Your discipline is going to break curses that have destroyed bloodlines. Your obedience is going to release blessings that cover people you may never meet. And that's what makes this different. It's not just about you. It's about who comes after you. It's about the communities tied to your decisions. It's about the lives that will be fed, freed, and healed through your assignment. God is calling you to think bigger, to dream beyond what your family ever imagined, to build what hasn't been built before, to fund what has been lacking, to speak what has been silenced, to release what has been withheld for generations. And He didn't give you this assignment lightly. He saw your tears. He watched your sacrifice. He tested your heart when no one was watching. He walked with you through the silent seasons, where you had no platform, no applause, and no understanding. But you still worshipped. You still gave. You still trusted. That's why you're being trusted now. Not because of how perfect you are, but because of how surrendered you are. You were never chasing money. You were chasing mission. And now, heaven is responding to that posture. But hear this. Assignment comes with alignment. You will have to walk differently now. Not everyone can have access to you. Not every opportunity is yours, even if it looks golden. You must stay aligned with the one who gave you the assignment, because the enemy would love to distract you with good things so you never step into the God thing. You are carrying spiritual weight. Your words carry authority. Your presence shifts atmospheres. Your decisions create ripple effects far beyond what your natural eyes can see. So don't shrink back. Don't water yourself down to fit into old circles. Don't fear the magnitude of what's ahead, because you were anointed for this. You've been called to restore what was broken, reclaim what was stolen, rebuild what was abandoned, reinforce what is righteous, release what is holy, reimagine what legacy looks like. This is your mantle now, not one of performance, but of presence, not one of wealth only, but of wisdom, not one of applause, but of assignment. The same power that preserved you will now push you forward. The same grace that carried you will now carry through you. The same voice that whispered to you in the wilderness is now sending you into the world. This isn't the finish line. It's the beginning of divine fulfillment. What you build in this season will last long after your name fades, because it's not about your name. It's about God's glory. So take the assignment seriously. Honor the mantle. Guard your soul. Stay in alignment. Keep your heart pure. Move with intention. Lead with humility. And watch how heaven backs every step. Because this wealth, this influence, this opportunity was never the reward. It was always the responsibility. And chosen one, you've been prepared for it. You're ready. Now go and multiply it for generations. So now, chosen one, don't just chase the blessing, walk in the responsibility. Because what you carry isn't just for you, it's for generations. And the best part? It's already being released. Stay aligned, stay ready, stay grateful. The wealth you're stepping into has your name and your legacy on it.